Gentlefolk, ferals, and domesticated cryptids, welcome back to Season 4 of Wonder Bathos. We are kicking this season off strong. We have a dear friend of the community, and we've been friends for a long time on Twitch now, Mr. Vengeful Jedi. How are you doing today?
Dude, I am great today. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. Had a good breakfast, slept. I actually got to bed at a decent time this morning. The baby stayed asleep for most of the night. We only woke up like 1 or 2 times, which was crazy. I woke up at about 8 o'clock this morning, and I was like, the baby's not screaming. Something must be wrong. And like I freaked out and jumped out of bed, and he was fine. He's totally fine.
It's almost unheard of with a newborn.
It is.
From my experience.
It is. He just decided that he had been keeping us up every night, and he was going to give us a break today. So I will not look a gift horse in the mouth, and I will take this as a W. Take it as a win. Also, it's Friday, so we don't normally tape on Fridays, and Fridays are always a good day. So I'm excited about this episode. I'm excited to have you on here. Now, I do start with some of the burning questions to get the YouTube viewers and the people at home acclimated and introduce you to them. So where did your name come from? Where did Vengeful Jedi come from?
Well, it came mostly from alcohol. And let me explain that. My original gamer tag on Xbox was Jedi Master CLT. And CLT are my initials. And, I guess the 12-year-olds and sophomorics of the, gaming community felt, hey, look, it's Clit. They just focused on the last part. And it got annoying after a while. At first, I could kind of laugh it off and everything, right? But, you hear it 100 times and it just starts getting annoying and bored. So I was drunk gaming one night, and, I heard it a couple more times, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck these people. I was like, I'm going to take revenge, and I'm just going to take this away from them, and they can't say shit no more. And I was thinking about what to change it to, and just because of the vengeful feeling that I was having and, wanting to take it out, I was just like, you know what? Vengeful Jedi sounds good. And I was also able to tie it to what's now legends of, the former expanded universe for Star Wars, the whole idea of the Grey Jedi.
Right.
Because they could act out and do vengeful and selfish things. And, they didn't subscribe to either side of the Force, Jedi or Sith.
I saw something really interesting earlier today, actually. I don't know if it's a fan theory or if it's a confirmed or what, but it was pretty much saying that Obi-Wan is a Grey Jedi.
He could be, because it was a very common belief that Qui-Gon was.
Yeah.
And he did train Obi-Wan.
That's true. That's true.
The Star Wars theory I wish I would have seen play out was supposedly back in the prequel trilogy, Jar Jar was
a Sith Lord,
supposedly meant to be the Sith Lord. Yep.
Yeah. I would have loved that. I would have loved that if they brought that. And nobody knows where Jar Jar went afterwards. So I mean, I guess with Favreau taking over, pretty much keeping Star Wars alive at this point. Oh my God, all the stuff with Ahsoka and the Mandalorian and everything. It's wonderful. And like
I'm behind on the Star Wars stuff.
You're behind? Okay, well, I wasn't gonna give any spoilers. I wasn't gonna give any spoilers anyway. It is fantastic. It is so good. If you get as soon as you get a chance, it is like unlike anything we've seen in a long time, and it really gives the Star Wars fans everything that they want out of anything from the Star Wars franchise, and like everything from the lore and just like the different terrains and like the storylines and stuff. It's fantastic. I am fully invested in it, and I would even go as to say, because like everything happening right now is happening between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. So like I really hope that maybe somewhere we're gonna get a little bit of a retcon. Like maybe for the first time in the Star Wars universe, they'll be like, "Oh, something about time travel. We're gonna fix everything," and then and then maybe we'll, or at the very least, we can see like kind of what happened prior to Force Awakens and like all that getting set up. You know, make it make more sense. Make it make more sense. You know,
like the evolution and transition of the First Order.
Yes.
Uprising from the remains of the former Empire.
Well, like, and Luke training the new Jedi on Yavin 4 at the Jedi Temple and like all of that stuff. Like that's the stuff that I want to see. You know, I was really just I'm not saying anything bad about Kylo Ren or Rey. You know, I'm not even gonna go there. But me, as a longtime Star Wars fan, like 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I read all of the Young Jedi Knights books, and like not seeing Han and Leia's twins, like them not being a part of this, all the extended universe stuff going away, really kind of, it hurts my soul as a fan, because I wanted to see that in live action.
Dude, so did I. When I found out that they were going with Kylo Ren as opposed to Jacen and Jaina, that just hurt.
It does. There was no reason for it. Like they had the lore, they had the stories, so many amazing dude, like literally an infinite amount of amazing stories they could have pulled from, and they're like, nope, we're just gonna make our own thing. And we're gonna make Leia force fly through the space or whatever. Like, come on,
I know, dude, and I've seen all the memes of her frozen like that. The whole "I believe I can fly" thing, and it's like, so I think there's only one thing that can appease me now. If they were to actually come out and do it, there are some fan theories out there that I would love to see turned into a crossover between Star Wars and the Addams Family, because nobody ever saw what happened to Luke's hand after it got cut off. There's fan theories out there that say that Luke's severed hand is Thing from the Addams Family.
That is such a stretch. I mean, wouldn't Thing have force powers though? He could just use telekinesis to like pull stuff from across the room. I don't know. That seems I'm all for it. I would love to see that, but also it just seems so far-fetched and out there.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, it's not connected to a brain, so there's only a limited level of sentience even with the Force.
Oh, that's okay. That's fair. That's true. I don't know. I would like to see like if they're gonna go that way, you know, let's get some other space stuff in the mix, like, you know, maybe Transformers or something. Like let's see Transformers and Star Wars crossover, Star Wars and Star Trek crossover. You know, like we've been waiting over half a century for this to happen, you know, and then like let's finally get it, because there's the Easter eggs, like what was it, you could, in one of the Star Trek movies you see the Millennium Falcon for like a split second as like a tribute, you know, like they threw it because it was J.J. Abrams or whatever, they threw it in there for a split second. And then in one of the Star Wars movies you see E.T. and in the Senate room. In one of the prequel movies, you see E.T. out there with all the other senators and stuff. So, like, there's a bunch of really cool stuff. Indiana Jones, you see R2-D2 and C-3PO as a hieroglyph on a wall, you know?
You even see the Millennium Falcon in Blade Runner and in Spaceballs.
I did not know that. Spaceballs, I feel like I knew that somewhere in the back of my mind, but Blade Runner, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's... Spaceballs, it's at the end of the movie where they go to the diner. Okay. And they have the chest burster scene. Well, exterior shot of the diner, the Millennium Falcon's in the parking lot.
Incredible. I've seen that movie so many times. I need to go watch that again. That's awesome.
The Millennium Falcon in Blade Runner was more built into the background. You didn't exactly see it flying around.
You just saw like
it blended in with the architecture.
Gotcha. That's so interesting. I also saw something recently that's talking about the Millennium Falcon. That's like in the Star Wars universe. Do they know what Falcons are? Do they know what a Falcon is? Like, wouldn't that mean that they are aware of planets like Earth, that have falcons?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's crazy. We could literally talk about that all day. We got sidetracked a little bit. I have a serious question to ask you.
Okay.
So we know how you got your name, because you were tired of people bringing up the clit thing, which, I totally understand that, and I think that's a very clever way of going about, hey, screw you guys, I'm just gonna turn my name into Vengeful Jedi. How did you find Twitch? Like, how did you get into Twitch? How did you become a Twitch streamer? Like, how long have you been doing it?
Well, I started, this January will be 5 years. And I was just podcasting before I ever started streaming. It was just audio only.
What was your podcast about?
It was geek culture, mostly video games, comic books.
Oh, very cool.
I had the opportunity to interview some really cool people.
Nice.
Like one of the, I think the biggest episode, like historically, download wise and everything, was I
George
got
Lucas.
the chance. I wish, but it was actually Melissa Hutchison. She did the, she does a lot. She's a voice actress. Did a lot with Telltale games.
Okay.
Everybody would know her as Clementine from the Walking Dead series.
Whoa, dude. Very cool.
I actually met her at a convention. I went to a Telltale Games discussion panel, and fortunately, it's a quick story. But
you got 48 minutes, man. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
I didn't get a chance to ask her my question during the panel, so I nervously approached her afterward to ask, and we just started talking, and we sat there for like 45 minutes just shooting the breeze. And the only reason that the conversation ended was because my buddy Will drove. He came up to me and he's like, "Dude, we got to go or I'm leaving your ass here." I was like, "You cock blocker." But no, it was great. And I went to the con the following year, and I saw her in the distance talking to somebody, and I didn't want to interrupt. And, these people go to a lot of events and a lot of things, and I didn't think that I did anything that memorable. But apparently she remembered us sitting down, because she ended, as soon as she saw me, she ended the conversation and ran across the room to me to give me a big hug. That was just one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me at a con.
Oh, I'm sure, man. That sounds awesome.
But I talked to her and I said, "Hey, would you be willing to do this? This is kind of my thing, the podcasting." And she came on.
Very cool. And so you guys just nerded it up and talked about the Walking Dead game and stuff like that. That's so cool, man.
Oh yeah. And the other thing,
I haven't played season 2. I've only played season 1, but I enjoyed it from start to finish. I thought it was incredible. It was such a good game.
It was. I only played part of season 2. As far as that, I did the whole first season. She was also in a couple of other games. She was in a game called Deadly Premonition.
I have that game. Wow. I
forget who she voices.
Yeah,
she does. Let's see. For Telltale Games, she's in The Wolf Among Us, Back to the Future, obviously Walking Dead. I forget any others that she might be in.
Well, yeah. So it sounds like she's been around doing this thing for a while. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh yeah. But as far as how all of that turned into streaming, I was fine with just podcasting. I was not the. I haven't always been the extroverted vocal person I am today.
Okay.
I've been very quiet, shy, very timid before. Let's put it this way. If it was around the time that I first started podcasting or before, I'd see you in a room and I'd be afraid to approach you just to say hello, just because I'd be thinking, this guy's gonna think I'm a total fucking dork.
Well,
You know?
if it makes you feel any better, I feel like everybody is a total fucking dork, myself included, and that's kind of how I deal and cope with things. So no pressure. No pressure.
Thank you. And I've taken more of that opinion over time, but I had coworkers that were always telling me and pushing me to do like a video type of podcast. And I came across Twitch because it was because of the game Elite Dangerous. I was thinking about picking it up. I wanted to watch a few streams of it to see if it was worth me picking up. And I had a really cool conversation with the streamer that was doing it at the time.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I was getting the game on a different platform, so I wasn't able to take up his offer to to team up with him when the game came out. Yeah, but I just decided that, well, with my coworker that kept pushing me for things. Once he found out that I was watching Twitch, he started pushing for me to stream on it, and I saw the guy every day. He was on my team at work. I couldn't avoid him. And eventually I was just like, dude, if I do this, will you shut up about it?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, I know exactly that feeling. I have people that I work with. A couple of the people I work with stream, and then like there are a couple other people I work with that don't stream, but they all game together, and they're like, when are you gonna start streaming? When are you gonna start streaming? Well, you need to start streaming. And like, I think that's incredible outside of Twitch, that it's not necessarily that people are pushing, like, not pushing people to watch, like, hey, I stream on Twitch, please come watch my stream. But like, people are pushing other people to actually get on the platform and stream themselves. And I think that is incredible. Like, hey, you need to get on this platform, you should stream. You play video games anyway, you might as well stream it, And like, just the people that you meet, you and me met through Twitch and streaming and stuff. And I think it's just, it's incredible. It's the best community ever,
And I have met some of the best friends that I could possibly ever have through this platform.
Yes.
Like, there's one of my best friends streams under the name Kuthar Blood Oath, and that dude and I are like, we're like brothers separated at birth. Yeah, and I never would have met him had we not been streaming and fallen into one of the same communities. And that's also one of the amazing things about Twitch, I'm sure you've seen, is just some of the communities that are out there. Just because trying to navigate this whole Twitch universe on our own, the experience is so much better with people.
You can't. I think a lot of times when people get into Twitch on their own, they're like, they think that as soon as they hit the go live button, that swarms of people are going to start coming into their stream, and they're automatically just going to start getting like bigger, and it's not, man. When I first started streaming, I streamed to nobody. Like, there was, I had a theme, I had an idea, I had friends come on and stream with me, like in person. And I had nobody in chat for weeks, and then it took about a month to hit affiliate, because it's just trying to keep that 3 people in chat or whatever. It took about a month to hit affiliate, and then it took about 4 months for me to get my first payout. And now anytime we have a friend or something that says that they want to get into Twitch and start streaming, we get them to affiliate within like a week, and I'm like, you guys don't even know, dude. You guys don't know the struggle. Like, we're super supportive. We'll help anybody.
I've done that with people. I had somebody that was having a lot of fun streaming on Mixer before it shut down.
Yeah.
And he reached out to me because he's watched me stream on Twitch. And he's like, bro, you think you could help me out with, with transitioning over to Twitch? You know, and I was like, yeah. And he had affiliate in like a week and a half.
Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I love seeing that in the community too, because there are a lot of people that gatekeep too. They're like, no, I don't want to help you out. And then you get characters like, I don't know if you know about the whole Man of Steel thing or whatever, but like, I think, like they're,
No, actually, I don't.
I want to say a fake account, but like they go into people's streams, especially it's like a thing in the Mario community. They'll go into Mario streams and they'll just start saying off the wall crazy shit, like very against TOS, very like not PC, and just make things super uncomfortable. And they usually get banned immediately, but they have like hundreds of thousands of accounts, like variations of this name, and they just terrorize Mario streamers, and it's awful.
Oh,
it is
wow.
awful. Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah. And so like it's, and I can only imagine that there's probably stuff like that in other communities as well, and
it's definitely prevalent in the Jackbox community.
yes, exactly that. And so
I stopped streaming Jackbox for that reason.
And so
I was doing a birthday stream. Yep.
Yeah.
Had
Assholes
some
that get their
asshole
jollies.
come in there, just started repeatedly dropping the N-word, which is a hot trigger for me.
Yeah.
And
for anybody. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck you. We're taking a quick break. I will be right back. And well, I mean, it turns out I didn't even need to take a break. My mods were on it, but I guess I could have downloaded it or downloaded. Yeah, words. Oh, I could have downloaded the episode. They are, which is kind of funny. It shouldn't be for me because I was an English major.
Well, I don't know how long ago that happened, but Jackbox has they've beefed up their security a lot, like a lot. Like when I play Jackbox now, I usually never have any problems. The only time I have any problems is if I forget to turn off audience participation, or where the audience can make words pop up on the screen behind you, and I pretty much have that preset on all the games now. But yeah,
I think that's where I failed, because I didn't want to have anybody in the voice chat. Like, I didn't want to have anybody random. It was only people participating in the game was only people that I had, vetted and I was comfortable with. And they've been in this Discord for a while.
You vet your voice chat, and then like as far as joining on the text side, you make sure you have Twitch authentication turned on, so they have to verify their Twitch account to get in there. Because most of the time, if it is a troll account or something, they won't go through the process of doing it. So I have not had any problems recently at a Jackbox, but every once in a while somebody does slip through the cracks. It does happen, and it sucks that people are out there just trying to ruin everybody else's good time.
Yeah, and it's a shame, because there is so much good that could come out of something like Jackbox, for example, because you could connect with somebody that actually really needs it. I actually had that happen just a few months into streaming, and this was like before my stream went 18 plus, before I realized that was actually a thing. This kid was in there, 16, 17, and it turns out he was home alone, afraid of storms. I forget what I was playing at the time, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to help this kid out. So we changed the game. I switched over to Jackbox. Before we started, I told him, okay, turn on all the lights around you. Since, there was thunder, lightning, and all that. So I had him close the blinds, turn on all the lights, find headphones, and I told him, grab a tablet or whatever you got that's charged up, grab a charger so that you can participate in the game. And yeah, we got him through the rest of the night.
Very cool. Very
And
cool.
he focused, he just focused on me in the game, and he didn't even think about it. He didn't, and he realized he's like, you know what? The storm must have been over for a while, but yeah, once I started playing this, I like totally forgot that it was out there.
It's good. It's
So
good.
I mean, that felt really good. That is more what I feel that the Twitch experience should be.
Oh yeah.
For
And
not just for the viewer, but for the streamer, being able to have that type of reach on somebody.
it's the escapism, like that's what I have always wanted to have like kind of a powerful voice, and I've always wanted to, this is how I feel about certain political issues, and like I think that these people on this side are stupid, and this is why, and like why can't we all just get along, and blah blah blah, this and that. Like I've always wanted to have that, but that is so not the best way to go about it. You know what I mean? Most people, if they're educated in whatever their stance is, they're not gonna sway on that. So like I focus more on the escapism, and like the world is shitty enough out there on its own. Like this stream is for you to get away. Come in, laugh, have a good time, make some new friends, get away from everything for a little bit, and just kind of forget about your troubles for a moment. And so yeah, I totally understand that, and that's where I like to come from.
Yeah, and to be the place that one can just chill and unwind at the end of the day, and
Yes.
you know feel like they have a place to come home to where they can just unwind and just chill.
Yeah, feel a place they feel welcome. Something that a lot of people don't talk about or really put to the forefront is like Twitch is full of a lot of lonely people, and it seems sad when you say it that way, like taboo almost, like what, you don't have any friends? And like, dude, I have tons of friends IRL, but with a wife and kids and a house full of animals, it is really hard. And not having a lot of money, it is hard to get out and go see my friends in real life, and so this is a platform where I can get together with my friends all the time, or I can support my friends all the time in whatever they're doing, and in an easy way, without having to leave the house. And so I love that. But there are a lot of people that, for whatever reason, they're in the same boat, and it's just a way for them to be able to connect and hang out with their friends without having to get out. There are a lot of people that can't get out, for physical limitations too, and I think, dude,
I've seen so many people that have had, we'll say differently abled, or people just with even more
I like that
things or whatever.
I like that terminology, differently abled. Okay. I like that.
Because, I mean, think about it. For example, they may not like. Actually, I'll give the example of somebody that I know. His name is One Hand Medic, and he's former military. He's a veteran, and the dude literally lost a hand, but yet he streams, he games. It. I mean, it's something that happened to him. It's something that people would look at and try to use the word disabled, but no, he went after what he wants, and he's making it work.
Right. Oh, there's so many incredible people on Twitch. There's so many incredible people. Like I could start naming off people and like the different things that make them incredible. Yeah, like you said, it's a way. It is a way for them to be able to still do what they want to do, and the capacity that they want to be able to do it. I think that's awesome. That is awesome.
It really is.
So, are you?
And it's one of the reasons I still like being here.
Yes. I was gonna say, are you ready to answer some silly questions? First of all, before we jump
Of
into
course.
that, though, before we jump into that, I do have one more question. This entire podcast is around centered around building my friends up and giving them like an extra platform and stuff. So if you have any projects coming up or anything you want to shout out real quick before we get into the questions, I would like to invite you to do that. You know, do you have anything special coming up with your stream or anything?
Well, for a while, streaming in the past year or so had taken a bit of a backseat while I dealt with some, personal medical issues and, kind of had to focus on, well, we'll just call it self-care.
For sure.
But I still streamed as I was able, and I'm getting to do so even more so now. But once I've got some ideas for some games, that I'm going to be doing. Looking into even the idea of watch parties and things like that.
I've been thinking about watch parties forever, man. They sound so cool. It's just
finding the time
to be. It's trying to find the time to be able to do it, and also like, is it better to do it on? Is it better to do it on Twitch? Is it better to do it on Discord? Like, what's it's so many variables in play there.
Well, there are a number of rules that you have to abide by for doing it doing it on Twitch.
On Twitch, yeah.
I mean, obviously Discord, watch whatever the hell you want.
Yep.
But with Twitch, you have to make sure that the movie is Amazon Prime, that it's not part of any of the like subscription services that you can get through it. I did actually look up a bunch of movies because of some different ideas that I had.
Okay.
If I decided to do like a horror marathon, for example, there's a bunch of Stephen King movies that that could be done. There's like the entire Saw franchise, for example, is on there.
I keep thinking I want to watch that franchise again, man, but like,
dude,
I'm more
Toxic Avengers 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
That is available to stream via Amazon Prime.
Have you been keeping up with the reboot? Tyrion Lannister is gonna be, or Peter Dinklage is gonna be the new Toxie.
Yep.
I saw the latest trailer. It looks fantastic.
I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I am excited for it.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that I've kind of been following the most, and I'll probably stream the shit out of this once it actually comes out early next year, is the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game.
Oh, I forgot they had a game now. Yeah, that movie scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Ooh,
you know what's funny is I have a fear of clowns in real life, and I've been able to watch that movie, and I'm like able to see the stuff from the game without being bothered. But I think I can.
Maybe it's because that they're aliens. That makes it a little bit easier, a little bit more palpable. That they're aliens. It's not like an actual human being serial killer clown, because then that adds like a bit of realism to it, and the fact that like clowns are associated with children and stuff. And I think that I understand the phobia. I understand where it comes from.
There were a couple movies they got me as a kid. First being the original Poltergeist, because of that stupid clown doll.
Yeah.
Because the boy in that movie was not much older than I was when I first came across that movie.
Uh-huh.
I guess my parents thought I would be asleep, but they'd gone to the drive-in to see it, and it was the second feature. They must have thought I was going to stay asleep. No. I should be sending them the therapy bills.
Yeah.
But no, then the next movie came out a few years later. It was called, I think, Clown House.
I've never heard of that.
And it's about these escaped mental patients that kill some clowns, like at a traveling circus, and they come across a house with where these three brothers are home alone for the night, and they're like breaking in and terrorizing these three home alone boys.
Is that not the plot of Three Ninjas?
It is,
I'm just
and it's like the horror version of Home Alone.
Wow.
But with more kids.
Yeah. I need to see what. And so this is what? When did this come out?
That
Like
was,
what era?
I want to say I first saw it like late 80s.
Late 80s. Okay.
Because I want to say I was like 11 when I saw it.
Okay. Yeah, I need to check this out and see it. That sounds incredible.
It was interesting.
All right.
But yeah.
Okay. So you've got your eye on some games that you're in. So you took a little bit of a hiatus, but you're back on Twitch now. Do you have like a consistent schedule?
Not yet. I'm gonna see. I'm moving in about a month. So once I get settled into the new place, I'll be able to rebuild a consistent schedule.
Okay, cool. So it's coming. You have plans. You have tentative plans in the works. Okay. Everybody.
Yep. And I'm also looking to revive a podcast that me and a couple buddies had been doing.
Dude, very
one
cool.
of them kind of had to back out due to work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, and it was called the Pixel Beard Podcast, and we just sat around just talking about like retro vintage stuff and
like pop culture stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Well, definitely.
But we
when you
pretty
get
much
that...
kept it based off of the games that we grew up on.
Right. Well, I love stuff like that, man. So when you get it back up off the ground, please shoot me a link and let me know that that podcast is back in effect. But everybody at home, go follow Vengeful Jedi. Look at that link right below him. Go check that out. Give him a follow. Now we're gonna get into now it's finally time to get serious. No, I'm just kidding. It's not serious. We're gonna get goofy here, and we are gonna ask some ridiculous questions, and we are going to get Vengeful Jedi out of his serious skin and into some goofiness. So let's do this. If you were a typeface,
are you prepared?
I am not prepared because these are questions that I've never asked before. These are all new questions, so I'm actually pretty excited for it. If you were a typeface, which font would you be and why? Why is it Comic Sans?
Oh, it's not.
I know. That's the first one I thought of.
Honestly, I might see. There's two that I would go with. One, I don't remember the actual name of the font, but it's like a horror typeface with
Is it Schlop?
That looks like.
Is it Schlop? Schlop is the horror typeface that I usually go with anytime I do something spooky, where it looks
that
like
one. I don't recognize the name, but it does look like it has like blood dripping down from it.
Yeah. It sounds very similar to Schlop. It might be.
And then the other is Papyrus, which it looks like the old
the Avatar
Egyptian
font.
type.
Are you talking about the? That's what they use for the Avatar title.
I can't help it. I like things that pay I like things that pay respect to different things.
It looks good. It's a really good looking font. But seriously, there was a big meme about that when that movie came out. They're like $300 million movie, and the title card is in papyrus. Like, so good. Oh man, I love that. All right, I was not expecting that answer, and I love it. I love that answer. All right, if you could be a professional wrestler, what would your wrestling name and signature move be?
Let's see. Uh, I okay. So I think the name. I think I would. I think I would wrestle under the name of Macho Nacho.
Okay. Okay. What would your
And
signature move be?
uh, see
I've
that I
I've
am
already got
not
two. I've already got two really good ones, and I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. I'm waiting to see what you say first.
okay. So it would. See, I'd have to be strong enough to do this, but I want to do like you would see in the movie, just like grabbing the dude by his legs, spinning him around, and just slamming him down like a kind of like a Hulk smash
Okay. Okay.
at the end of it.
Does it have a name?
And it does not yet.
Can I offer up my name?
You may.
Okay. I was gonna. You could call it the chili con carne. You mean Macho
I love
Nacho,
it.
and my your signature move is the chili con carne.
I love it.
So good. That's so good. Let's see. That's too close to the question I just asked. What's the most unusual place you've ever napped, and how did it improve your productivity?
Hmm. Well, I don't know that. Well, okay. So I would say that it was a conference room at the office of like my old boss,
Okay.
um, which is back when I worked for Redbox. And what happened was I went into this little conference room on my lunch break just to kind of try to grab a quick 15-20 minute nap because I only had a half hour. And I set the timer and everything on my phone, but I forgot to take it off of vibrate.
Ah,
So
so you slept through it.
hour and yeah, so hour and a half later I woke up and I went right up to my supervisor and he's like, "Oh my god, Clint, where have you been? We've been looking all over for you. I thought something might have happened." He's like, "Dude, I was ready to send out the search party." I'm like, "No." I was like, "No, dude, here's what happened." I had a really cool supervisor at the time. He was somebody that I could, let him know what was going on. So he was like, "All right, let's just get back at it." But apparently, I needed the rest because I killed it the rest of the day.
Nice.
Like
Very
the
cool.
second half of my shift was just awesome.
A nap
I
on
was
lunchtime will definitely
more.
put you in a better mood
Mhm.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and not just the mood, but I had the energy that I needed, and I had to deal with a lot of people on the phones and things like that. So I needed to be on top of my game, which apparently the nap helps with.
Very cool, man. Yeah, dude, crushed it. That had a happy ending. I thought you were gonna be like, and then I got yelled at or something for falling asleep for an hour and a half.
Nah, I honestly, if it had been any other supervisor there, I probably would have. But nah, John was a cool dude.
Very cool, man. Very cool. All right, this is a weird two-parter question. What's the last thing you binge watched, and how does it relate to your professional development? Which it's okay to say if it doesn't. You can be like, it doesn't relate to my professional development, because like I don't think I've binge watched anything that relates to my professional development.
Okay, this is gonna be crazy, and it came out of nowhere. But the last thing I binge watched was the original Beverly Hills 90210.
Really? I was not. That is very left field. I was not
It,
expecting.
it was, and I wasn't like a huge fan of the show or nothing back in the day. I just it came across because it came across the suggestions because of something else that I had previously watched, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I can just have it. I can have it on in the background
Uh-huh.
while I'm working on other things. And this was like right after I lost my job at the end of July, and you know, before I knew it, it wasn't just white noise in the background. I was actually getting interested.
You got into it.
Mm-hmm.
We dude,
yeah.
I know how that goes. I know how that goes.
I guess the other show that I kind of done right around that, or like right before that, was New Amsterdam.
I've never heard of that.
It is one of those hospital TV shows.
Oh, that's why. Hospital dramas are not my bag. House looks awesome. I can't even get into House. I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean, this one, I don't know. I honestly got into that show because of some clips that I had seen on TikTok. And I was like, you know what? I need to look into this show and see what it is. And I watched a few episodes and I got hooked. Mm-hmm. Actually, I've even recommended the show to other people. Like, my mom calls me one day because she was going to be house sitting for her boss. And she's like, I need you to suggest something for me to binge watch while I'm over there. And I was just like, check out New Amsterdam. I was like, if you're into the whole hospital drama thing, go for it. And yeah, she attacked it a lot harder than I ever did. Well, plus when I binge watched, I was also going in and out of the hospital and stuff, which is really weird. I would watch a hospital drama while I'm in the hospital.
That's why I don't want to watch them. That's literally why I don't want to watch them, because like I don't know how credible that information is, you know. And then I just feel like watching any sort of hospital show is going to make me like paranoid. I'm gonna be like, oh god, I have like some sort of exotic disease or something. Like, that's no wonder my cheeks turn red when I get out of the shower. Like, just, you know, stupid stuff. It's gonna be like, you have 6 days to live. Oh fuck. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and we meant to tell you that 4 days ago.
Yeah. We got your test results back 4 days ago. It's like, yeah, I can't do hospital dramas. Plus, like, Grey's Anatomy's been on for like 20 years or something, man. I watched, I saw a thing the other day. It was like a picture of all the original cast members, and like everybody was in black and white except for the last three members that are still on the show. And they looked, I don't know anything about the show, but they looked like side characters. They didn't look like main characters. And so I'm like, the show is not even the show anymore. Grey's not even there anymore. She's been gone forever now. Like,
it's the first, and that was the only like hospital drama that I've like fully watched, you know? Like, I've seen an episode or two of House. I never seen Grey's Anatomy or ER
so yeah, New Amsterdam was your
anything
first one.
Like that.
There's one that has Matt Berry in it. It's a comedy hospital show, and it's got Matt Berry in it. I want to watch it so bad. He plays a character called Dr. Sanchez, and I keep seeing the clips on TikTok, and I want to watch it really bad. It looks funny as hell.
Yeah, the only other one I was interested in was, at least based off of TikTok clips, I haven't watched it yet, but it was Chicago Med.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that either.
There's a whole bunch of shows like that for Chicago. There's like Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med. And being from Chicago, it piqued my interest, but I haven't given into it yet.
Gotcha. I could see where the interest. Hey, I know that place. I could see that. What's your go-to karaoke song, and how does it demonstrate your leadership skills? What are these questions?
Okay.
Oh,
I don't know how this is going to demonstrate
their
leadership skills.
Because they're supposed to be interview questions. So it's like if I was interviewing you for a job. I'm seeing the pattern here now. No, we don't have to go that way. Just what's your go-to karaoke song?
Bon Jovi, You Give Love a Bad Name.
Okay. I saw me and my wife saw Bon Jovi once recently.
Oh, Oh, nice.
It
Yeah,
was no, it was not nice. It was awful. It was so bad. It was, we were like in the nose.
Really?
We were in the nose. We got free tickets from somewhere. We were in the nosebleed section. So we're like, he looked like a little tiny ant on the stage, and he came out, and the
Ouch.
first thing he says when he comes out on stage, because he's like old now, and he's the first thing he says, he comes out on stage, he's holding his guitar, he looks at the mic, he kind of looks at the crowd, he's like, I don't know why you guys keep paying me to come out here and shake my ass. And at that point I kind of looked at my wife and I laughed, and I was like, so are we gonna sit through this whole thing? Don't get me wrong, I like Bon Jovi. I love him in the second Vampires movie, the second John Carpenter's vampire movie. He crushed it. He did so good.
Oh,
No,
I hadn't seen that one.
what? That came out in like the 90s, dude. It was so
I know,
good.
but I've only seen the first one. Now that I know he's in the second one, now I need to look it up and I need to watch that later today.
It's not James Woods, okay? I will tell you right off. It is not James Woods, but it is still a really freaking good movie, especially for the time period. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was so good. You got to watch it. I forgot that existed until right this moment too. So.
Oh wow. But yeah, I got to see Bon Jovi once. Actually, well, no, I got to see them twice. The first time, actually, and this actually relates to the question, if we're gonna go with pushing out some leadership skills.
Okay.
At the time of the show, I was dating this girl, Brittany, that she had bought the tickets for me as a birthday present. But it turned out that at the time I also had reason to believe that I wasn't the only person she was interested in. And, as basically by the time of the concert, I was sure of it. Turns out I was right, but I broke up with her at the concert, and I was wearing this t-shirt that said, "Don't worry, ladies, there's plenty to go around."
Oh God, to add insult to injury. After breaking up with her at a Bon Jovi concert.
That she bought the tickets for.
Oh
and
God.
So many ladies at the concert were coming up to me like, "Oh my God, that shirt is amazing. Where did you get it? My boyfriend, would love that shirt. Oh my God, can we take a picture?" So I was getting all this attention from all these ladies at the show, and she's just standing there awkwardly looking at me doing all of this, and I'm like,
that's ruthless.
That's right.
Absolutely ruthless.
And yes, during the breakup, I did tell her that she gave love a bad name.
I mean, you're at a Bon Jovi concert, you kind of have to at that point.
Yeah. And sometimes you gotta, and as far as the whole leadership skills, sometimes you gotta be willing to, let people go, get them off your team.
Yeah.
That's
so true.
If they're hurting your business.
That is so true. Very often, it's not to veer off topic too hard, but it's like a very like cult-minded mentality where like a lot of people have this sunken cost investment, I think is what it's called, where like you feel like you've invested so much time and effort into a person or into having them in your life that even though it's bad and harmful to you, you continue to go along with it because even though you know it's not going to, you want to believe that it's going to get better, and it's not. And sometimes, like you said, it's better to just kind of get rid of people that are not going to be good for you in your life. They tell alcoholics and drug addicts the same shit, man. They tell them exactly the same thing. Like change playmates, change playgrounds. Like if you're in a bad environment with people that are not going to be, and it sucks, man. I had a lot of friends, like some friends in high school that were like really close to me, like very close to my heart, and they were just going down a bad path and they were not going to stop. And I could not have that be a part of my life anymore. I just could not. It was not going to do any good. And even now as an adult, occasionally they'll reach out and be like, "Hey, when are we going to hang out and stuff?" And it's like, "Well, are you still doing the same shit?" "Yeah." "Well, then we're not going to. Like, I got a wife and kids, and like I'm living like my best life, and I cannot introduce that into my life again. It's just not going to be good. So I definitely understand that. Anyway,
and to be able to stick those guns is an awesome thing.
Yeah, no, you have to. You really have to. On the other side of that, it's like chess players. Chess players will tell you, like, you will never get better at playing chess unless you play opponents that are better than you. And I adapt that mentality too. If you want to get better at anything, you need to hang out with people that are better than you. And they will make. I
apply that to Tetris.
Yes, they will motivate you, and they will make you better. You will try harder, and they will make you better at whatever it is you're trying to do. So, that is definitely a good mentality to have. All right, if you were a type of weather, which one would you be, and how would it affect people's moods?
Let's see. I would be. I think I would be. Honestly, I think I would be like the first snowfall in winter.
Ooh.
Kind of thing.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
Because without knowing me, sometimes at first glance, some people might find me a little intimidating or cold, and I honestly don't know why. That's just the impression that
it's the beard.
Well, I think
it's the beard, hands down.
That, and I've got well, not many, but I've got tattoos. I'll sit there in jeans and like a horror or a metal T-shirt or something, and people just assume that I'm just based on appearance, they think I'm just this darker person than I really am, and I'm like, no, not really. I am a giant teddy bear. But I mean, yeah, with the winter, winter gets cold, but it's before you get all of the shit where you gotta shovel and everything's slushy and
right before you
everything.
Before it becomes inconvenient. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that light refreshing powder the kids are looking forward to getting out of school and sledding and tobogganing, and people are just getting happy because of whatever holiday that they choose to participate in that season.
Mine would be kind of similar, except I think I would go with rain. I would go with like not like a torrential downpour, but like that light overcast rain where it's just like it's a perfect day to just stay indoors and cuddle up, with a book next to a window, or like just cuddle up in bed with whoever or your animals or whoever, and just kind of watch TV or sleep and take a really good nap like that. That way, you do that and you just feel refreshed. You feel refreshed coming out of it. Like that would be the one that I would do.
Oh yeah. And what I love with where I'm currently at, it's going to stink when I move because I'm not going to have so much of it around me, but I like having, like my windows open during that, and, everybody's got these big yards and everything. So I also love the smell of fresh cut grass.
Ooh,
and everything. And when you get that with, you mix that in with the light rain and everything, it's just so calming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that. I love it. Well, Jedi, we are right at the hour mark. It has flown by. I feel like we started 5 minutes.
It really has.
But I do have one.
It does.
I do have one more question I have to ask you. It's something I like to do for all of my guests. I'm going to put you on a podium in front of 1 million people to spread the message of Vengeful Jedi. Now, people in past episodes, some people have gone with like a mental health message. Some people have gone with, just a kindness message. One person even just got up and said, "Mommy milkers." And I always tell people, nobody's done it yet, but I always tell people it's totally cool if you just want to get up and self-promote too. If you want to be like, hey, this is me, come check out my stream, whatever you would want to say to a million people, given the opportunity to do so, what would you say?
Honestly, I would tell people to, and it's because this is something that I'm, kind of going through right now, is to learn to love and care for yourself along with taking care of other people, because you could be one of the kindest, most giving people out there, but you're not going to be as effective unless you're taking care of your own needs also. Because people that are on the receiving end are going to assume that, if you're in that, giving situation and giving spirit, that everything is, in place for you. That might not always be the case, so look after yourself and, care for yourself as much as you care for other people, because that's honestly the only way that you're going to be at your best.
Absolutely. They teach us the same thing as parents too. I think you're right. The mentality applies to anybody in your life. You have to, and I'm learning that. I actually had that moment last week. I stayed up all night so my wife could get some sleep. So I stayed up all night with the baby, and at about 7:00 that morning, my body shut down. Like I just could not go anymore. Like I just collapsed in bed and was just like, I can't. And I passed out as hard as I could until about noon. And if anything had happened in that time, I would not have been in any position or would have been able to wake up or do anything, because my body just shut down. So like, yes, please. I'm learning this as well, but everybody take care of yourself first. If you can't take care of yourself, then nobody's going to be able to depend on you to help take care of them as well. So self-care is definitely important. Thank you for that message. And thank you for being on the show, Jedi. This has been a lot of fun, man. I've loved it.
Dude, this has been an absolute blast. I am so happy to be here.
Thank you, man. I always enjoy bonding with my guests and getting to know a little bit more about people and just having some fun and some laughs. So thank you for being here. Everybody at home, make sure you go check out Vengeful Jedi. That's twitch.tv/Vengeful Jedi. He's got a schedule coming. He's got a podcast that's being revived. He's got some things in the works. Just watch out for him, follow him. And until next time, this has been Wonder Bathos.